But I got to be honest. We may or may not have ulterior motives to getting you to come on here.
Is that the same as ulterior motives? I just want to make sure.
What do you say?
Ulterior.
Yeah, it's like more. It's made out of velvet, I think. Yeah, it's smoother.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
It's a different motive.
Like that Sheila Booth guy.
Like that Sheila Booth.
Who is Sheila Booth?
That's exactly what we were wondering last week, and I couldn't get it out to ask him to say it again.
Is that the tether of Shia LaBeouf?
It is.
Yeah.
Is it LaBeouf?
Yeah.
It's Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
That is not how it's spelled.
That's how.
I went to center, okay? The dude's name is Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, that's a restaurant in Baton Rouge.
Welcome to Stockville.
So we get the board, right? And Troy he's so excited the board comes in. And then he finds out he don't get to control it.
Why don't you get your own board, though?
Yeah, Tim. Why don't I get my own board?
We are working on a satellite board as I speak.
Isn't this Truckin with Troy?
Troy.
You know this is Truckin with Troy.
How did they turn this into Truckin without Troy all of a sudden? They got the roadcaster pointed the whole other way. I can't even reach it, by the way, if anybody's listening. Y'all watching, too. I see. Look at this.
There you go.
You see this? This is racist towards short people. You see that?
It can't be racist towards short people. It can be
What if
prejudice.
I want to celebrate? I can't even nothing.
Record.
Man, you got it. They said we recording already.
I know we could.
Nah, but you can record live on the board.
Did you get my posse's on Broadway on that?
I got you,
My
baby.
posse's on Broadway.
Let's go.
He don't even know the story. We'll have to play him that episode.
What happened?
He's like he's a fake podcast watcher supporter.
I'm a new. Well, I've watched about a quarter. I've watched about a quarter of each episode so far.
Hold up.
A quarter.
That adds up to a whole episode.
Now, how you gonna come on the podcast to help us out, and you ain't even watched all the podcasts?
I thought I came on to just because my boy invited me on, but now that I'm here having to pop the hood on the car and consult and be like, oh, look, you need a – I picked the worst analogy because I don't know anything about cars.
Popping the hood, that's a good one.
Trucking with Troy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Mm-hmm. That's
but I got to be honest. We may or may not have ulterior motives to getting you to come on here.
Is that the same as ulterior motives? I just want to make sure.
What do you say?
Ulterior.
Yeah, it's like more. It's made out of velvet, I think. Yeah, it's smoother.
Kind of like that.
It's a different motive.
Like that Sheila Booth guy.
Like that Sheila Booth.
Who is Sheila Booth?
That's exactly what we were wondering last week, and I couldn't get it out to ask him to say it again.
Is that the tether of Shia LaBeouf?
It is.
Yeah.
Is it LaBeouf?
Yeah. It's Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
That is not how it's spelled.
That's how.
I went to center, okay? The dude's name is Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, that's a restaurant in Baton Rouge. I ate there. It's good. I'm telling you.
See?
Hey.
Shia LaBeouf.
So it is French. It's French.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's part French, part.
He's on Team Troy today. Just so you know that, Team.
He's on my side of the
He's
table.
on Team Troy.
Man, this dude he let me fish and hit, bro. This dude has a stock. But if y'all don't know, this dude got a pond with a bunch of fat Sallies in it.
Hold up, time out.
You said you had the bass turned up. I thought you said the bass turned up because I was outside and I caught a bunch.
He got jokes.
That's what he does.
Hey, he said we have a stock pond down here in Stockville.
That's what I'm talking
Bro,
about.
stock. See, man, y'all got
I
bars.
saw him turn the bass
Is this
up.
a hip-hop podcast or like what's going on here? Yeah.
Man, y'all need to stop trucking around. We got a show to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, my part of the job is to welcome everyone to Truckin' with Troy. And today we have a very special guest. He's right here, sitting in chair number 1.
Hey, you know why he's not saying it? Because he probably can't remember how to say your name.
Say my last name. I know. It's
Chehadé.
tough.
Okay.
Man, hey, where's the button?
There it is.
Let's go. My dog. I even mess up my own name sometimes.
For
That's
real?
good, man. Not for real, but for fake. But it's close.
Here's the bad news. I don't know your other name. I just know Chehadé.
That's a lot of people,
The
though.
first name. The
A
first
lot of
name.
people don't know.
So what's your first name?
It's Mike.
Mikael.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it like?
Michael Chehadé, and I'm a
Mike.
junior. Yep. Shout out my
Really?
dad. Yep.
Oh, shout out to
Yep.
the pops.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Rest in
I'm a
peace.
junior, man. But everybody calls me Chehadé because I grew up playing sports, kind of thing. And then that was like once
And it's a cool name.
it is a cool name. I love it.
name.
And then after my dad passed, I did the whole like, that's my name. I just wanted to ride for my dad. So, because Mike I have like the most unique last name and I have like one of the most common first names. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to shelf Mike and Michael as much as possible. And if people call me Chehadé, that's cool. And that means we're cool, especially if you can say it. Because like I said, it's kind of difficult to say to some people. And then, and then it was kind of like an ode to my mom and dad and
That's
just a
good.
ride. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good, man. I like
Yep.
it. That's good. So my name is not as rare as your last name, Massey.
Right.
So when we started our second company, may not be the second, it may be anyways, there's multiple, but we named it Massey. First couple of companies, I didn't want to name it Massey because I didn't want it to be my name because I was trying to be like, I don't know, just trying not to be out there like that. But you know what I decided? I really like my last name.
You got a dope last name, and it's
Just
unique.
like-
It's
it-
not. There's
no,
not a
it's-
lot of Masses.
It's not Chehadé.
Or Melanders.
Or Melanders is a
Melanders,
unique,
that's
very-
extremely unique. I've
It
never
is
asked where
unique.
that come from. Where does that come? Where does it?
He
or is it-
Mexican. Look at him. He's
You know, for a
obviously.
long time I didn't know
Spanish.
what he was.
It
I
is-
really
it's
didn't.
Spanish.
He's a Spaniard.
But
Yeah.
here's
I
the
thought
deal.
it came from Antarctica.
I met him on a sailboat once upon a time.
For real?
Yeah.
In 1492?
It was around that. It was what's that? What's the tequila everybody drinks?
Patron?
Jose Cuervo,
No, it's with the date. What is it?
1808 or something like that.
1800.
1804.
Whatever that tequila is, it was
Yeah.
that year.
Nobody
Mhm.
knows that.
It was that
Well,
year.
You
Yeah.
can tell it's a table full of drinkers.
No, yep. Don't
know?
drink nothing.
Yeah.
Goldschlager.
No, it actually the last name. So Melanders. Supposedly, this is what I was been told. Like there was a set of twin brothers that were born in a hospital, and the nurse messed up on one of the birth certificates, and the Melanders is where.
She had too much 1804.
That's what it was. Tequila.
That's it, man. I think it's actually just 1800.
No, man, we're missing something, man. I'm about to.
That's his job. Tim's supposed to have done
I'm gonna look
Google
this up.
that. He's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it, bro.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
on it.
1800
It's the
tequila.
Don Julio one that everybody likes.
All right, we're going to see
Yep,
who's
none of us
closest.
drink. That was
I
a
think it's
womp,
just
womp,
1800.
womp, womp.
Yeah.
I think it is just.
Oh
1800.
no! What that shows that we don't drink a day. 1800 is like 20 years ago. People drank Cuervo.
1818.
No.
There's an 1818. There's a 1942.
No, it's
1942.
definitely not 1942.
Nah.
So,
It's
hey,
1800.
you know what?
It's
Why-
1800.
It's
It's
1800.
1800.
Yeah.
Because that's where I think the
I thought it was 1804.
yeah, it's in the fly like crazy
what
angle
it
bottle with the diamond shaped glass top.
Yeah,
yeah.
I could have swore it was 1804.
Yeah. That's it right there. We'll show. We'll put that on the screen.
Oh,
We'll
we'll
show
put
it
it
on
on.
the
Yeah,
screen.
we'll get it.
Okay, for all
Yeah.
the
So-
alcoholics,
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
just
yeah.
make
So
sure
really,
they
me and
locked in.
Chehadé met around 2003. I think it's about what time it was.
Yeah.
I know you're looking at me like I know. I have
Nah,
no
he
idea.
don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember though. I don't remember the year.
He's done a lot of extracurricular between now and
a
then. He don't
lot of
remember.
extra. Nah, but I remember how we met
Yeah.
for sure.
So before we get into that, let's just kind of tell who
Suspense.
Chehadé, who
This guy
Chehadé is and what he does.
Yeah, so first off, thank you for coming on.
Of course, man.
And so we enticed you to come down to go fishing, and then we threw this, hey, can you help us out getting our podcast up off the ground and give us some advice on how to make it better? And somehow or another, we hoodwinked you into sitting down with us, and we thought it might be a good idea, kind of like we was talking about before. You know what? We're all about putting it all out there, and we don't hide anything with what we do. We're always learning, and I think anyone that does any type of business or in personal life, you're always learning, right?
Yep.
And
Every day.
And so, now is a great a time as ever, for you to give us some advice and tips, tricks and things about how to connect with the audience and how to make them feel like they're sitting here with us, and maybe a way of talking about it, maybe camera angles, different little things, and maybe to add a little bit of legitimacy to the strength of your words is, maybe just talk about 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or however. You're the guest. You talk all the time if you want to. But
No, he can't.
I'm taking over.
Take over, bro. But maybe you could tell some of the guys like some of the things you've done, most recently, and we'll hit on some of the highlights of your career, during.
I'm gonna be bad at that for sure. I might need
I'm gonna pull it out of you.
Steven's help on this a little bit.
Nah, for sure. You know, it
But-
sounds super weird with him calling me Steven.
I know. I want to call you XO.
Nah, call me whatever you
Can
want
I?
to.
Does everybody know you as XO on here?
Nah, they don't
Yeah.
know me as XO on the show.
So
but-
we're introducing
we'll-
XO to the show.
Yeah,
Am I? That's
this is the first.
That's-
Allow
that's
me
an
to
honor.
introduce myself. My name is XO.
Yeah.
X to the O.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
before we get into all this, like critique the podcast, because y'all's podcast is dope already. I've been watching it. There ain't too much to say.
You've been watching a quarter of it.
Yeah, but I watched 4 quarters
All
of
right.
4 episodes. That's a full episode if you
For real.
add them all up in time too, without commercials, because you don't have commercials. So
We-
I really sat there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
But-
one quick question though. As we're kind of getting into this,
Yep.
true or false? T-Pain has been watching our podcast.
He
Possibly.
You ain't got to lie, bro.
I text him if I was texting
It's
him.
possible.
It's possible. I just haven't got the text back.
Yeah.
But I text him, yo, you're watching this. Are you watching this, right? You're watching Truckin' with Troy, right?
You just got to text. I'm looking at his phone. T-Pain just text him.
Just hit me back. Payne, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, he says
Appreciate it.
Truckin' with Troy is the mother truckin'-ish. That's what he said, dude. He said it, man. That's
see?
crazy. Shout out Teddy Pendergrass, Penderdown.
Shout
I'm in
out.
love with a podcast.
Yep.
Yep. Anyways, go ahead.
So now we're confusing people because you just brought up T-Pain like.
Okay,
nobody
so
even
check it
know.
out. Here's the deal.
I led you into it.
So I've been there since, not since day one. I ain't been there since day one because Chehadé got into music a long time ago. He was young, 14.
Yeah, but I just
so.
really just started. It would just be rapping and rhyming stuff like to myself.
So
like
you could rap and all that. I mean, you could
I was
obviously
just
still.
I was just a kid. Like literally, I was like for some reason, I just had this thought. Like I want to rhyme this. It was about some stingray in the ocean and some bullshit. It was some bullshit, but I definitely
You were
started
doing
rhyming.
it, yeah.
I was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 14,
You know the
so.
coolest thing about a rapping to me, and I guess that's why I like the music, because a lot of people can get up there and sing because the words are slow. But the coolest
Yeah.
thing about hip hop to me is that I can't do it.
Right.
You can't sing neither.
I mean, I could probably sing. You may not like
This
it.
is some auto. We get some
No,
auto
and-
tune.
Y'all
But-
don't have a shots fired button?
Yeah, it gets a shot there.
Oh wow, it's a whole like damn, it's a FN
But-
and
That's a
everything.
50 caliber
All
right
right,
there.
you could
But on the real though,
Dang.
like I could sing, you just wouldn't like it.
you could rap and
Y'all
I
got
like
an
it.
85-year-old veteran on a turret doing.
That's the
That's World War II.
That's like
yeah.
wow, man. You got
All right, hold
you got
all right. So
Lieutenant Dan in his wheelchair shooting. Go ahead though. Go ahead. Go ahead. We
so
gonna get
I
back.
so
Salute all the veterans.
salute to all the
Salute.
veterans. So I said, you think you could get us like a rifle on there, automatic rifle, and that's what we got.
Y'all
That's
need
World War I though, man. You know what
to-
I'm saying?
So the first thing we should talk about
that might be a Korean rifle. I don't
is
know.
your budget, probably. So I know you gave me a water.
From
Nobody flew me in. There wasn't a hotel. Just everybody out there for next like follow up guests. There was
You
no.
didn't get-
I didn't have a driver service. There's no.
Oh, you got an Uber, bro.
There's no. I did
You
get
got
a,
the
I
best
got a-
Uber in the
actually,
country.
XO came and picked me up straight from the
Golly.
airport. I take that back.
That was pretty good.
That was beyond
at
good.
midnight,
You know,
Straight up.
man. I'm gonna tell you.
caught that red eye, dog.
Dog,
Telling
because
you.
if he didn't pick me up, the other we're not gonna go into this, but the other I was gonna go.
It wasn't going to be good.
I was renting there was no rent a cars available
Yeah.
in the world at any time, even the next day.
Yeah, that's Thanksgiving, man.
And shout out T-Pain because on his podcast that I produced, but on his podcast, he told a story one time.
Whoa,
He was
what?
like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, man.
Okay, go
I'll get
ahead.
it out of me. Just give me a second. Like you. So on his podcast, though, he told a story about some crazy adventure he went on. But at the end of it, he said, if you can't ever rent a car and you just want a cheap way to get somewhere, just rent a U-Haul. It's like $20 a day.
How'd that work out?
Whatever. For him, good.
No,
He's a
no,
star.
no, for you.
Look at him, dude.
For you.
Obviously, if you rent a U-Haul, you turn into a superstar. For me, it doesn't look good because X cut me off and he said, "No, you're not going to drive a U-Haul back in the middle of the night. I'll come pick you up." So my chance at stardom's
That's
pretty.
such a good idea though, because you could pick up things along the way if you wanted to.
think
You
the
go-
next
Dude,
Yeah.
I own a trucking company. I could have got you a load.
Bro, you would have paused. You came and picked me up in an 18-wheeler? That's crazy. That would
No,
somebody
in your U-Haul.
Oh, you would have got me paid, bro. Damn.
See?
See, I messed that all
No,
up.
you good, man.
I could have got you a load back.
I took the easy way out. I'm lazy. I just took my friend picked me up. I could have worked my way down here, and I just didn't, But back to the podcast and not have. So you basically have to coal mine your way into being a guest here. That's number one.
You did get to go fishing.
Yep. Well, that's what I was gonna get to. Is like to salvage it all. This man dug. I don't. He didn't have this a few weeks ago, but apparently you dug a pond out
Just for
for
you.
me and stocked it with incredible fish species. And I've been catching fat Sallies all day. But that's how they got me here because I do not do interviews and I do not do interviews
I found one interview of you. One. That's it.
with my boy Focus Noise.
Yeah.
Is that
Eric
true?
Abel.
Is this
Yeah,
true?
That is very true.
Very true.
I
Yeah.
don't do it. I
Really?
did one other interview.
You're pretty good at it.
What? Being interviewed?
Yeah, as a guest, you're pretty
Nah,
Oh,
good.
I was gonna say you
Yeah.
didn't hear the interview. I could have been trash.
He ain't been interviewed.
I thought it was
yet.
good.
He ain't doing
How's
nothing
this
but
one going?
talking.
We doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing
On a
great.
scale of 1 to 10, do I have 5 stars? If you were rating me on Yelp right now,
Oh, look, time out.
What
But
a-
you said scale of 1 to 10, then you said 5 stars.
yeah.
So I'm real confused.
Well, Yelp. I don't.
We're not
own,
real good at
no,
math
I don't
around
own
here.
Yelp. Right. Neither
Yeah.
am I.
Yeah.
Obviously. Let's go with a 5-star review.
I'm giving you 4.5 so far.
So far,
Yeah.
I got to work my way up. All right.
Yeah.
you're never perfect.
Okay, I was gonna.
We
ask
keep it
what I
real
did
around
wrong.
here.
I did something wrong already.
Hey, we
Damn.
keep it real around here.
I see that, obviously. Okay, so mark against me. But let's get back to your lack of budget and having stuff. I see a bunch of fancy cameras here, though, everybody. I want y'all to know
We didn't scrimp on the budget on the
that they're
cameras.
fit.
What about
yeah.
the set? What
Once
about
they
this-
let you out of the chains in the room that they keep you in, because they don't have a green room. None of the TVs working here, by the way. They're 75,000 inches long and tall, but none of them work. I think they look like solar panels, but we're inside, so none of that would make sense. But
We're actually not inside. We're actually on the back porch.
is this a back porch?
It's a back porch.
Oh, I
is-
see. Those are garage things that come up.
Yeah.
Because,
That's why we ain't got no budget for the show. It was all spent on the back porch.
like, I want y'all to know that there's grown men that don't live in a podcast room this big. Like, their house isn't anything close to the size of this podcast room. But I have a quarter of a water left, and according to survival information on Google that I checked in the dungeon you had me in, this might last me throughout I might be able to make it through this podcast.
Yeah, you'll make
Be
it.
Okay.
okay.
You'll
All
make
right.
it.
Right.
It's gonna do it.
Tell them about that. I mean, I did bring you seafood fettuccine.
You did, man. I keep skipping all these things.
Yeah, here's what's funny though.
They picked me up. Actually, the truth is, they picked me up from the airport. They brought me spaghetti feta, whatever you said. Then they brought me a water bass.
I
There was
offered you a
catfish.
beer.
You did. I don't drink, so
Okay.
I felt like that was a 4.5 star on your review.
It's so funny though.
You were at 5, and then it just kind of.
Because with Troy hit me and was like, hey, here's Chehadé, see if you want something to eat. And I hit him up. He's like, oh, no, he ain't got to do all that. Just whatever he's getting, man. I ain't picky. Shrimp fettuccine.
I'm not picky, but I'll take a shrimp fettuccine.
You know why I did that though? Because when you're really not picky person, you're like, get me anything.
Oh, no, I've
the
done that.
answer on the other end for that person is they're like, damn it.
That's like
now
when
I don't know what to get him.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I would have gotten lasagna because that's antipasta's.
I would have loved that. That would have been
That's their
great.
signature dish.
Okay, and then you would have been like,
5 stars.
You would
Yeah,
much,
5-star
much
then.
rather somebody say, I want this than to him haul about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad you said something because I know you've been here all day
all day.
and you hadn't ate. So I told Steven, I
All
said, I
day.
need to bring him something to eat.
Man, you guys look out, man. I actually recommend this podcast if you would like to. Any
Hey.
celebrities out there that
Hey.
want to get booked,
Shia LaBeouf.
Hit Chehadé.
This is
I
we're
think
working
Shia LaBeouf just texted me.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
I'll start saying your name right when you come on the show.
Did you watch that movie where he got the real tattoo? Like he's the Mexican drug lord assassin guy?
Yeah,
He's the Sammy the Bull of the Mexican cartel in this movie.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I actually like him as an actor.
Nah,
Bro,
I love
me
it.
too.
he literally went and got a real tattoo, like full chest.
Like he's got it
huge,
forever real.
forever, ever.
No kidding.
And he died in the movie. He wasn't even like the main guy.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Yeah.
the movie was cool,
Yeah, it was a good movie.
but
It was
what's the name of it?
I don't remember, but I know
He
which
got a
one.
tattoo on his chest from a movie he don't remember. Ladies
For sure.
and gentlemen,
Time
that's
out.
how.
Time out.
But he is a good
don't-
actor.
He
Nah, I
don't
seen
watch
the
no
movie.
movies.
Great.
Yeah, I do.
Every time I say, "Have you watched this movie?" he says no.
Are you a movie guy?
I watch a lot of movies.
Last movie you watched?
Step Brothers yesterday.
Ooh, last new movie you watched?
I hadn't watched a lot of movies in the last year.
Well, there isn't
With
really
COVID.
anything out there.
Yeah.
Movies are tough. Movies are tough right now.
Yeah.
Next year, be on the lookout. There's going
I
to
don't
be
know.
a
The harder
of-
they fall was good. It
What was
good.
that?
The harder they fall.
Is that the Jay-Z movie?
Nah, that's I don't know.
Oh, no, the cowboy movie- the cowboy
He's the
movie.
Yeah,
producer.
Jay-Z's
of
the
it.
executive producer of that
Yes,
movie.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yep.
Yeah, Idris Elba, dope movie. Yeah,
What's
Western.
that on?
Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
It's a dope movie.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
gonna watch
watch
that.
a movie on Netflix here recently, and I'm trying to think. Anyway, I won't think of the name. It was good. It was real good.
Okay,
All right,
appreciate-
so I met Chehadé 2003. We started doing music together. I say together. We did music together. Chehadé had already done some music stuff in the past. It was with a group. They had signed a deal. Didn't work out. He went his other directions, went his ways.
I actually quit rapping for a little bit because I was discouraged. It was
Yeah.
kind of like,
And we actually ran into each other at a gas station next
Yep.
door to the restaurant he was managing, La Coretta. Shout out La Coretta.
shout out La Coretta.
Yeah, back in the Gap. But we met next door and just kind of chopped it up a little bit about, getting together, doing music stuff. And, man, from that day, we started doing music. And
Because too, from being from Nacogdoches, especially back then, there wasn't anybody rapping. There was like
That was my question.
know,
was there a rap scene?
there was
or
a
anything?
cut. No, there was like a cut. There was definitely nowhere to go record and
Right.
rap. And then
We need a recording studio.
Well, we handled that right after. That's part of our story. Like I met another cat named JP. He had heard of me. That's what I was getting to. I had heard of X. Like it was so small that you would hear about the other rapper or whatever it was, But
Right.
back then, you just didn't mess with other people. You just didn't. Like it was kind of like they rapped, I rap. It was
Right,
more
right.
of we're all trying to rap, and we're
Right.
from a small town, like
Right.
whatever that was. But I wasn't really like that. That was just kind of the culture, at the time. But I wasn't really like that. I'm always like a welcoming person, and so when X and I met, we hit it off real quick. And then I was instantly like, listen, and he had just started rapping, like just like
I sucked, bro. Like I was not.
You said you
good.
started rapping at a party or something like that, basically.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
being funny.
Yeah.
But his CD was dope. It was still dope. It was really dope for like, an independent project and him not knowing what he's doing.
I had no idea what I was doing.
So you recorded it yourself?
Not
I
that
recorded
not
it.
that I knew a whole bunch more than him or whatever. It was more like you could just tell, like even back then, people just burned CDs. This is
Yeah.
before everybody could upload the music,
Oh, yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah.
all this other stuff. You literally had a burned CD
Mm-hmm.
or a tape, whatever it was, and it was just written on,
Right.
And he had a cover and the whole nine. He was sitting at a desk it was all this Eminem looking crap stuff, like a stand kind of thing,
Yeah.
where he's writing in his notebook and whatever. But he was dope in his
Is he signing autographs?
he was writing in his diary. He's even had a
I was
record
writing
like
my raps, bro.
yeah, he was writing. His
Nah, I
rap.
didn't record myself. My partner, Jesse Ross, shout out Jesse. Jesse put me in the studio at Encore. And
Dang.
it was like $75 an hour. We was recording on ADAT tapes back
You didn't
then.
cuss, right?
Yeah, I cussed.
You did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he got away with cussing because Encore.
Yeah, I was doing after hours, like with Spence Peppered was coming in after specific, like not really telling many people that I was coming in because it was
So
a big Christian run
Okay.
studio.
That
Yeah,
answers
and that
my
was
question.
kind of it, you
All
know.
right.
And this
Yeah.
was the time too, like you got to imagine this was 2003.
Yeah.
You know, this is the trail end of like hip hop is still, you know, like it's not mainstream. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
blowing up, but it's still taboo, if you will. So
Especially in this region.
yeah, we're from the country. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
You're the
from
last-
I'm
you-
from Nacogdoches.
You're the last stop on the line, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I live in LA now. Lived in California probably like almost 15 years now. But I'm from Nacogdoches, Texas. You know, I'm
Right.
from here, and it's like it was already rare that people were rapping. Then on top of it, he's white. You know,
Yeah.
or Mexican, as we found out earlier.
Yeah, I
in the
had to
show,
figure
you
it
know?
out.
Spaniard.
It took me a
That's
while
what
to
it
figure
was.
Spaniard, yeah.
That's why he was
accepted.
successful.
Yeah.
If he was white, then
It could have gone. Yeah, it
Yeah.
would have never happened. But
I asked him one day, I said, man, what are you? You remember that? I said, what are you? I said, I'm white, man.
Y'all are stupid, man.
But it wasn't a thing like back then, like, and even now, just being dope cuts through everything. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
always made
yeah.
it a point too to never make any kind of race comments.
yeah, no,
even
you didn't
in my
even rap,
music.
and you
I
didn't
never
rap.
even-
He didn't rap out of character either. Like he would be rapping with the hardest street dudes. And I remember one particular verse. I don't remember exactly what he would say, but it was a verse about the two other dudes on the song were rap. This is when we were younger. They were rapping about selling dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were dopes. They sold dope.
That's what they did.
That's what they did.
That's what they did. They were very good at it. And X did not do that in life at all. The complete opposite. He don't even do drugs, get messed up, nothing his whole life. So I remember when the verse came back, he took the approach that like he was dope and the lyrics and the beat was the Pyrex and like all this it was the most well put together stuff, and the two dudes who rapped about dope thought it was the hardest verse, and I was just like, this is hip hop, you know, this is like where it doesn't really matter where you're from, who you are,
right.
whatever, it's just an appreciation of the sport, you know.
Right,
so
right.
that's where it was stuff like that over time too, where I connected with X. It was like we were always cool, but he was different. He would always stand out where it was like, damn, this dude is like, and everybody would come around too, and they would have that, because we had a group of, there was a bunch of us, you know, but he would always stand out. So at a certain point, that's when I stopped rapping, even though I was good at rapping, you know. I stopped rapping and mainly focused on him being a rapper. And
So that's
me
where
handling the business.
what you do right now began.
Yeah, that's like I got all my training with dude, like with my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. Nobody's ever really said
That's
it to us
pretty
like that, but that's real.
Right.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my training came from that. Like, I got all my hip hop knowledge from my boys Adam Lemons, Corey Roberts, Zach Dearbon. Like my buddies growing up in NAC. Like when I was a teenager and after my dad died and I dropped out of high school, I got my GED, like Biggie. And I just got introduced. I had all the time in the world, and I just started listening to hip hop nonstop. But when I met X, that's when I really I transitioned from a rapper to doing the other side of things. Yeah, and that's like everything I do now. And I don't even do management now. I mean, even with what we did, it wasn't really just managing him. The dope thing was like we both had a dream to make it in hip hop and just music, and it didn't even matter how. It was just we were gonna do it. And so it was always dope, and it's still dope to this day. We still chase dreams together, you know.
Right.
But that's what it was. It was like we would be able to chase dreams together.
And sort of fast forward, like we met 2003, 2007. We moved to Las Vegas together. We thought it was the move to make. Obviously, it was. I mean, because where we are in life now. So in that move, like Chehadé went all in. Like, you know, his Big Mona had passed. His mom had passed. R.I.P. Big Mona. He sold his crib. You know, that's how we afforded to move, and because he
I took my mom passed. I
he-
sold my house, or I had to sell the house, and
Yeah.
then I think after it was all said and done, I had like a little less than $20,000, and I looked at X and I was like,
how long did that last?
the
Not
money?
long. Not long.
How long did it take? How long did you move back?
6 months.
6 months. Less than 6 months. 'Cause we ran
Actually-
out of money. But I said we taking all
But we
this
went to
money,
work. Yeah, we went to work too.
all this money,
You know.
and he had been itching. I remember sitting in a truck with him a bunch of nights in a row leading up to my mom passing, and then me getting this money out of nowhere because I didn't have no money like that. We didn't have anything like that. And then I remember the moment in the truck where he was like, I just want to get out of here, man. Not that he didn't like Nacogdoches. He was just like, we've done it all here, you know, like I want to go somewhere else.
But
and
just
it's like
Troy
there's never going to be opportunity for something like that in Nacogdoches.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, and I still to this day, I don't say it a whole lot, but I still to this day, like, you know, if I see a picture like of myself with a group of other people that aren't people like at this table, I just feel like I'm different and look different, and I'm just different. Like, and you've said it before, like I've always felt like I'm more than a 9 to 5 and an every normal.
Yeah, that's in your spirit. So, and I've said that, you know, people, they comment and they say, well, you know, what personal advice can you, well, I mean, my advice to people may not be effective for you because I know I'm different.
Yeah.
In here. I know I'm meant for more. And if you don't feel that fire burning, ain't no amount of advice I could give you. It's not going to work.
And everybody's moment, if you have one, happens different. You know, one of the best pieces of advice I ever saw was Jay-Z. You know, somebody asked him the exact same question people ask you, and his answer was, if I were to tell you what to do, I would be doing you a disservice because everybody's experience is different.
So here's my question. Like, so obviously I moved back, you know, which was tough. You know, it was tough on me.
This is back to the story. He's moving back from Vegas.
Yeah,
moved back from Vegas. And I can't believe you 20,000 lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we was ramen noodles and like we was
from day one.
We was thugging
But the second he said let's go, it was like.
And he did everything in his power too to like. He wanted me to just worry about rapping. He didn't want me to have to work a job. He didn't want me to have to.
Yeah, we did that for.
Yeah, we did it for a while.
Did that for a while, man.
And,
like really.
So you know, I had this stupid thing in my head where if something didn't pop and we didn't make it by the age I was 25, I was done. I wasn't gonna do music anymore, and which was dumb. But
you know what's not dumb? I'm not going to interrupt you forever, but a lot of people. Women do that stuff too. They'll be like, I'm too old for that. I've been doing it to myself getting older. I'll be like, I'm too old to have a kid or something like that. So like, it's not stupid. It is stupid, but it's not stupid once you realize what it really was, you know? Like,
because I mean, we, from leaving here, right? Like we were popping like here. We were it. We were the ones everybody was coming to because we were going to Houston on crazy non-planned or non-organized trips, and the craziest things in the world were happening. And so it hurt a lot of people's feelings when we unplugged and left, because when we left, the scene left. Because we, you know, it was just that energy of.
And I had opened a recording studio.
Yeah.
Like, where you could cuss, you could be yourself, and it was like Field of Dreams, dog.
Yeah.
It literally was like, you build it and they will come. People were coming from other towns. They were coming from people were coming, because I was a manager at La Coretta for years, the general manager. That was my full-time job outside of music. There were people who would come up there and ask for me. And then my hostess or whoever come get me, and like, somebody would speak to you, and I go up front and they're like, are you Chehadé? You know? Like, they told me like you rap and like you're dope, and I heard about you, and you know that you have a recording studio and whatever, because there's nothing at that time. I don't know what's going on now, but there was nothing nowhere.
Maybe we need 2 offices. Maybe we need a studio and
yeah. So the thing is so what I was gonna get to on the deal is like, when I upped and moved, like, and this is for the people, Chehadé and I have had endless conversations amongst each other. We're very close, but like when I moved and come back, like, what was it for you that kept you going and kept you going? Because you did say, you know, you had give up on rap until you met me, and then you quit rapping after you met me. But whenever I stepped back and came back home, like, what was it for you that kept you going and kept you moving and chasing your dream and not giving up?
I just always felt it. I always felt like I had to do something.
You got
bigger.
that fire.
Yeah, like I had this thing, like, no matter what, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then, like, but the truth is, too, because I hate when people tell their stories and then make them sound just like they got to the finish line, everything was great. The real truth is, after you left, I got discouraged because I wasn't a rapper. I didn't have a, I was a point guard and I couldn't throw the ball to anybody to shoot. I couldn't. And the last thing I am to this day, is like X is gone. I'm gonna go get another rapper. Like it's not a recipe for me. It's never been a.
Yeah, it was
more. It was always specific with me. Always, it was like I want to work with him or I want to work with this person.
Relational. It's pretty
I work
relational.
that way to this day. It could be the biggest person in the world. If I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. It's not even like a. It's there's something about it, But on the other end of it, when you're feeling it, you can do anything in the world, So when he left, I was like, it wasn't even like, how am I gonna like? I wanted to keep going. I just didn't even know what to do because I don't have a thing, and I'm not gonna go just get a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
the truth. No, go ahead.
But it worked out pretty good, obviously. But I mean, kind of throwing some tidbits in there. I mean, you did work with some big name people, like some of the names.
No, I got to it. Well, this is how I got to it, is what I was gonna say. The real truth is I got discouraged, but I kept going. I was still living in Vegas. But I was just, at that point, I was just working and trying to think of what's next. And then all these other cats had moved there to support X and I. It was kind of like, because again, we were killing it in the hometown. Everybody saw what was going on. So these guys were going to come help with production, artwork, everything, right? Yeah. So like 5 cats moved. We all lived together. They ended up, he moved after maybe 6 months, 6 months.
6 months.
And then they moved about 11 months, not even a full year. Or it was about a full year, right at the end of a full year. And then it was just me. And I ended up, to expedite this a little bit, I had a moment with God, straight up. I'm a God person. I'm not a religion kind of person, just because we can all get lost in that.
You're sitting at the right table for that one, buddy.
Right. You know that, right? And I know that. But
I'm glad I didn't say the F word.
No, but just for,
I'm a God person too.
No, for sure. And just for everybody knowing, that's my thing. That's what motivates me every day, is keeps me centered. I get off track, but we all, that's like my focus.
Yeah.
So
you have to. You have to have that aspect of it to stay humble and stay appreciative, because with just a little bit of success and money, you don't realize how out of bounds you can get real quick with a little money in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want. Anything you want.
Anything.
Yeah. And you got to have that center.
My dream growing up was just literally, I'm not making this part up. My dream growing up when I was working at Brookshire Brothers is I just wanted to have $100 bill in my pocket.
Yeah.
I thought if I walked around with $100 bill, that was more than anybody in my family had.
Well, back when you was working in Brookshire Brothers, $100 was a lot more than it is now.
Yeah.
That is true.
A whole lot more.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ended up having a moment with God, because I was at a crossroad. I was just like, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And mind you, and I'm careful with this to this day, when I tell myself this is, like, if I know something, I try to be really careful that I'm not telling myself I know this because I want this, and I'm giving myself the answer I want. I really deep
can
down.
I interrupt you?
Yeah, of course.
I'd hate to interrupt, but I want to add one part to that, because this story parallels so much with my business. And it's so interesting to me because I didn't know this story.
Trucking and hip-hop. That's crazy.
Because for the viewers, I've never heard this part of the story. So I'm really intrigued about this, because I, too, had that moment with God. I, too, had that burning desire. I, too, had other buddies that we all did the same thing. And I'm rowing the boat, and we're all rowing the boat, and everybody's rowing, and people just start jumping off. And
you look up, you're the
you
only
look
one
up,
in
you
the front.
you the only one
The
rowing.
whole canoe's looking like this, sitting in the air.
And you're like, man, I feel like I'm the only one rowing. And you look around, you're like, you're the only one rowing. But the biggest thing about the way the story parallels is what you were just talking about, is that you sit there and you're having this decision of do I keep going or do I stop?
Do I quit?
Number one.
Yep.
Number two, this is very important, because this you may not have thought about this in a business decision, but this is how I conduct business every day. I do not allow myself to make an emotional decision about business. So to keep myself square on that, I always require 24 hours on a big decision to make sure that I'm not making an emotional decision.
That's
do that
smart.
on a lot other than just big decisions too. I've noticed that it's just a practice that you have where, you know, if I ask about something that's not a tremendous decision, but it has to do with work, you'll be like, let me sleep on it.
Yeah,
or
let's
I'll
just sleep on it.
I'll get you. Let me think about it.
And you know what?
You know?
I've lost deals. Here's the other part. You know, I joke about not having a review mirror.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm going to fall out if he mentions something about this. Because that's like three parallel universes. But I joke around with people. I say I don't have a rearview mirror. Because if I conduct business in this manner, and I don't waver, that's my rock. This is how I conduct business. And if I say, okay, let's make a decision in the morning. Mm-hmm. If that deal goes through,
It wasn't supposed to. Yeah.
I ain't got no rearview mirror. You know what? There'll be another one.
Yeah.
I don't allow myself two things. You talked about Jay-Z a while ago. There are a lot of Jay-Z quotes that are business related. One of them is sometime way back, I don't know at what point, he mentioned something about not talking about other people's money and other people's business. He talked about his own money and his own business. I do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean it from a greedy perspective. I just say, you know what? I'm not going to sit over here and talk about if I'm sitting at a table, I'm not gonna talk about so and so's money over there.
Yeah.
But you know what? I respect it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what we gonna do.
Because
Yeah,
if we
that's
focus on what we're doing, we can even get to that money.
That's right.
Yeah, and if you're looking at that money as somebody else's, you focus on somebody else, just like somebody else's problems or whatever, like you're gonna miss your own. I said that on one of the podcasts before. Like, if you're focusing or worrying about somebody else's opportunity, you're gonna miss your opportunity.
You're gonna miss your
It's
opportunity.
gonna pass you by.
You're not gonna be
Yeah.
ready, man.
It's
And
kinda
that's what differs us. And when I tell you, like, with some of the stuff and the issues we deal with on social media, like, it's like, you know, where people are just engaging and want us to, like, man, we ain't paying that no attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care because
Truck
as
out of
soon
here,
as
dog.
because
Get the truck out of here.
yeah,
with
because
that
as
stuff.
soon as
Truck
we
outta here, man.
engage, like, it's taking us off our focus.
Yeah, I ain't never done that ever. Never.
Yeah.
If anybody,
Well,
social
and-
media, I don't engage with anything. I don't even respond. I don't nothing, man.
Yeah.
Well,
nothing.
part of it is
Nothing.
I think you have to have some arrogance. I think it's important.
For sure.
I think you have to have some arrogance to say, you know what, bro, I'm up here.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the first
Like,
Yeah, no, that's real,
If
though.
if I look down how far I got to look to respond to that
Yeah.
nonsense that you got going on, I'll break my neck.
Yeah,
well,
and
the
it's-
first thing is command presence. It's how you walk in the room. It's how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself. Like, that's gonna steer and control the situation, which direction it's going. You know, because I could sit here and somebody can walk in the room, and if they, you know, you can tell whether or not they're gonna try to size you up or I'm the alpha or whatever. But when you just walk in with confidence, like, and know, look, at the end of the day, it don't matter what happens in this room. I'm gonna be good.
yeah,
either
man.
way.
And we're all like children
Yeah.
of God. We're all just regular people,
That's right.
man. I mean,
we're all the same.
and I'm like, because I work around a lot of celebrities and with them and all that, the funny thing about that is that same thing, it becomes a small world real fast for
Yeah.
people. They'll be acting like they know everybody in the world, and they'll be in the wrong room, and it'll happen real quick, and it becomes a small world real fast where, you know, people have done
I
it
bet
to
that's
me.
funny.
It's the
I bet
funniest
that's
thing in
funny
the world.
if you're like, oh, I used to do
It happens
this.
to me all the time, man. I'm from Nacogdoches, Texas. I don't even.
Well, it happened. It happened too. Like on a situation that was close to both of us. Like we paid a dude for a feature. I'm not gonna say no names, but we paid this dude for a feature, right? Dude ends up trying to sign me, and he gives me this crazy contract that would have locked me in for my entire life. So if he'd have sold me to who he was planning to sell me to, because that was his deal, he was gonna sign me, he was gonna whip me, he was gonna make a quick buck.
You might have would have got.
Yeah. So he whenever we turned the contract down, we had somebody look at the contract and we turned it down. Like, no, he's like, okay, well, good luck with your career. Well, he fades out. Well, come 4 or 5 years ago, he's needing some help with some stuff. And who are they reaching to get the help? He didn't even remember who he was, but this is who they're reaching out to. And he's like, yeah, I get to you. and just don't respond because it's like, I remember how you treated us.
Man, I've had a few of those, bro. I ain't gonna say nobody's names, but it was a bunch of people played us coming up and definitely played me. And then, but it's cool, man. I don't, like when that comes back around or people are in front of you, I don't even get sideways about it. Really, it's like, cool. What's up, man? And it's like,
right.
That's the best win anyways. It's like, no, I'm really, really here, dog. Like when you met me, I maybe was at a restaurant or something and waiting on you, but like, no, I'm here now. Like, and I've been here, and this is real. Yeah. This is real life.
That's major flex.
It's the same.
Racism can't reach it. Yeah, my dog. Race relations.
Yep. So we fast forward. He moved to California.
Well, hang on. We just skip. I'm gonna make it quick.
Okay.
So I had that moment with God. You didn't even let me have my moment with God.
I'm trying to let everybody have their moment with God, bro.
Circle back to that.
So I'm discouraged. X is gone. The other cat's left. It's just me. I can't do anything, right? Because I'm not gonna just grab whoever. I don't know what to do. I literally had a moment with God where it's like, God, if this, because this is what I'm supposed to do, and I know it, but obviously something's going on here. If this isn't it,
you were supposed to have that moment.
What else? And I said, like, what else am I good at? And I would love to be great at so many other things, but I was like, okay, well, you make people laugh a lot since you were little.
Yeah.
And I decided I moved to LA to do stand-up comedy. I quit music.
No way.
No kidding, man.
Yep, I quit music.
I did not see that coming.
Yep.
Me neither, yeah.
And I literally moved to LA.
You did like one show.
I
and
bought
they were like,
books on stand-up comedy.
did.
I didn't read one of them. I bought everything you could do to get ready, and I moved to LA. One of
next he's gonna be like, I hooked up with this dude. I was homeless, and it was another homeless guy, and turns out he was Dave Chappelle.
No, it was pretty. No, my
Tim's hero.
Yep. No, but
I've been watching all this stuff.
I do have a crazier story though. But no, I ended up moving to LA to do.
I was waiting to see if
stand-up comedy.
T-Pain was going to text us.
Nah, I'm checking for family actually.
Okay.
That on my head.
Sorry, I ain't trying to check your phone. I just
no, you good? I got it on blast.
Hey, I see it.
T-Pain getting so much promo on this thing. T-Pain doesn't need any more promo, man.
I'm
this
telling
dude is
you, man.
viral every week.
We still trying to work that.
We ain't even got to T-Pain.
We still trying to build that truck for T-Pain, man. Like we still got to make that happen. Like
I'm telling you, we're gonna confuse. People don't even know what we're talking about.
keep going so you can get to that part.
So yeah, right. So I moved. I tell myself
you were doing stand-up comedy.
Nope, I was gonna move to LA and try to do stand-up comedy.
But you didn't read the books.
I didn't read the books, but I was still. Hang on.
Read the books, y'all.
Read your books, kids. So I moved to LA, and mind you, all the way from Nacogdoches, right? Lot credit and everything. My job to fund all this music stuff at nighttime and whenever we had days off was hospitality, working in restaurants. I was a general manager of La Coretta. And then so when we moved to Vegas, I got a job working for Crapplebee's.
Yeah.
I call it Crapplebee's.
Yeah.
So I was a manager for Crapplebee's. But it was Vegas, so it was lit.
We should have wrote a record back then.
This is important. This is important. My first date ever
was at Crapplebee's.
With the love of my life.
You know where my first job ever was? It was my second job. My second job was at Brooks Brothers.
My first job was at Brooks Brothers.
That's where my first job was.
Yeah.
My first date.
Sean Mason, if he's still here, he probably.
Dude, that was my manager.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
We probably worked together.
That's my dog, man. You want me to tell you a crazy story? This real quick.
You ever bag groceries, Tim?
No, I ain't gonna tell the story.
Yeah,
I had
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly, I'm telling you.
Grocery gang all day, bro.
I think it's
grocery.
We could have called ourselves the grocery gang.
Still can.
After bag, yeah. No, I'm telling you. So I moved to LA to do stand-up comedy. And I get a job in restaurants. And I'm bringing that up because I had promised myself.
You weren't going to do that.
I am not going to move to LA. I'm not going to, I have to stop working. Because that's something else people do. And there's nothing wrong with it, but if you're ever going to transition to being an entrepreneur or doing your own thing or trying to get there, all of us battle with that. How do I get out of this, 9-to-5 job?
Yeah.
And, be able to spend time on other stuff. So it was a big deal for me to not work in restaurants again. And here I am. I spent
You went back to your comfort zone.
I saved up probably 6 months worth of money in Vegas to be able to just go to LA, get a place, and not have to worry about anything. And after 6 months, I could not find a job. And then, boom, I got a job in hospitality.
Back
and
at
then,
Crapplebee's.
yeah, the craziest. No, it was Jerry's Famous Deli.
Yeah, Jerry's Deli.
And that's where everything happened for me. It was
That's where he met the right people.
it was the craziest situation ever.
It was literally one of those things where somebody walks in and you meet them and
Hey.
yeah.
Dude, it was a customer. I'm gonna tell you, it was it was. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, God
'Cause
always.
I'm about to tell you a
Hey,
crazy story.
Now I'm telling you,
For sure.
God's gonna do 50%.
If not
You
more.
have to do your 50.
You just got to get up. So I got up, right? Even though I'm thinking I'm quitting music, I'm moving to LA. I'm still in pursuit, and deep down, I don't want to quit music. I didn't know what else to do.
Don't tell me that you were back there on the microphone doing orders and you were rapping them out, and some guy's like, "Who is that?"
Dude, who's this rapper? Yeah, it was Puff Daddy, and he actually it wasn't, no.
Shout out to P Diddy.
No, but even crazier. That would be a crazy story, but this is a crazier story.
Oh, wait.
So, I get the job at Jerry's Deli. They put me in Woodland Hills, California. That's where that's the store I was stationed at, and I worked there for like 6 months. And a customer stopped me one day. Just this white man named Lucas Hill. I'll say his name for the first time. Never said this ever. Because he always told me he didn't want anybody to know anything. So he stops me one day, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm getting your tea, bro. That's what I'm doing here." And he was like, "No, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "You got it. You got it." And
this is a dude you don't even know.
yeah, it's just a customer.
How did he? I mean,
Just a regular
Yeah,
Just a
customer.
regular customer. So
How
I
did
know
he
him as
know?
a regular. Interactions, I guess.
Okay.
Like small interaction. I never was the kind of restaurant manager that would like watch from a distance. I'm the one who'd like send people home, work, run food, check on tables, seat people, answer to every single thing you could do. I was hands on.
Yeah.
And I still am on with management, any kind of management, because either a problem shows up at your desk or you go.
my son is laughing at us.
I forgot
like,
we're in
look-
your house, man.
Hey, he
We're-
like, look at all these old dudes out here trying to be cool with a podcast.
That's real, dude. He's like, crazy. I'm gonna go make a TikTok.
He don't even be on TikTok.
But y'all be on TikTok. I'm
No,
old. Damn.
no, but not to. Anyways, he thinks it's the craziest thing that of all the followers that all of us have.
Yeah.
What?
He
Now, I
said-
asked him in North Carolina when people were walking up asking us for autographs and pictures. I asked him, I said, "Bro, do you ever think this would come from like trucking?"
The coolest
And he's
thing.
Like, no.
The coolest thing really was I told him going out there, I said, the dad that you know right here in Nacogdoches,
Yeah.
you get ready because when we go out,
Yeah.
You a
different.
whole
It
different
is.
dude.
it's different.
It is different.
It's different.
So this guy stops me, and again, he's like, "You got it." And to be honest with you, I've heard that a whole bunch of my life.
Yeah, for
And
real.
like I said, I'm at a restaurant, man. And I looked at him. I was like, "That's really cool, man. Appreciate that." You know.
Yeah.
And
See you
he's like-
tomorrow.
and he's like, "No, I'm telling you, you got it. Like you got something special. And what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Man, honestly, like, no offense, man. I'm just this is a step for me to get to where I'm trying to get, and I've been trying to get there for a while. This isn't what I want to do in life, but it's what I have to do to handle my bills and be right in life and fuel my dream. But absolutely not. I do not want to be here. I do not want to get you a f***ing tea. No, I don't. You're right. I got it. Thanks. Appreciate it. And so, whatever. I finished my shift. Maybe 2 weeks later, he pulls me to the side again. Just same customer. And he literally told me, he said, "I want you to quit your job. I want you to go chase your dreams. And I don't want anything from you." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is crazy." And remember, as y'all know, I'm from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Yeah,
so,
right.
and I'm in Woodland Hills, California, right by Hollywood. So I'm in my head, I'm like, this is crazy. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know? And he told me a quick story. He said, when I was growing up, my dad didn't pay any attention to me. He didn't care about me. He acted like he didn't love me, nothing. So I told myself, when I grow up, I'm going to become successful, make a lot of money, and I'm going to go make my dad proud. And he said, I went and made millions different ways. And I went back to my dad. He said he didn't give a shit. He didn't care at all. And he said what it taught him was money doesn't really do anything except allow you freedom to do things. and that one of the things he wants to do with his money is allow me to chase my dreams because I got it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I was like, this is crazy. And he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to think about this. It's crazy, man. Like, just honestly, this is really like.
Yeah,
and
you
he's
talk
like,
about
all right.
being on the spot.
Yeah. It's like, and he's like, all right, you have some time. So I took 2 days. I talked to another customer at the restaurant who became my buddy, who's still my buddy to this day. He's a producer, a super dope producer. And I asked another friend of mine growing up who's always like got me. He basically was the one who really got me strong into God and Christianity at the time when I was younger. And I just asked for advice, and they both told me because they know me and my journey that we've been talking about, and they said, quit. They said, just do it. And I'm a responsible person, so to me, it's like, quit a salary job.
Yeah.
This sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So I asked him, what do you want me to do? You know, I'm going to make it as fast as I can, but it was like, what do you want me to do? And he said, I don't want you to do anything, man. I'm going to pay you a certain amount of money. Well, how much do you make at this restaurant? And I told him at the deli, and he was like, I'm going to pay you more than that. I'll pay you cash, and I just want you to chase your dream. He said, if I call you to go check on my mail or turn on a light if I'm out of, town or something, that's all I want. But I just want you to chase your dream. And 7 months later, after a whole bunch of stuff trying to figure it out, I ended up getting an internship at Ski TV and DJ Ski. And that's when, like, everything started for me.
And what was
basically
crazy,
in
what's
LA.
crazy about that is I got a little bit more time, but I don't want to cut into some of y'all's time either because I know y'all got puppuccino time. But what's even crazier about that is whenever I was doing music and we were still here early, like Ski was a person that I had like set my goal to hear my music. Like I was like, man, I want that dude to hear my music. Because he had broke the game right around the time that I was getting into the music. And
yeah, for people who don't know who DJ Ski is, he's a host, radio personality, huge mixtape DJ back in the day, huge DJ on the West Coast. Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock,
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. I mean, all kinds of
He
people.
broke a lot of records for people. And, but so and then to fast forward, he gets his internship, works his way up to executive assistant, to co-producing the show, the Ski TV show that was a deal with Mark Cuban. And here's what I'm going to say about this is a lot of people don't realize this because a lot of times somebody that's the plug with a lot of people don't get a lot of shine, right? So the whole Mark Cuban deal and the whole Ski TV thing came actually from the plug with him because he brought Trey to the show. Well, then Trey in turn brought T.I., and then T.I. brought Mark Cuban to the table, but it all come from Chehadé.
Man, I'm glad he remembers all this stuff.
It's all from Chehadé.
You're right. I just remembered all that because you said all that. But
yeah, but you don't think about it. That all come from the manager of La Carreta.
That's crazy.
Like that made this TV show happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
all because you feel like you're different.
Yeah.
All because you feel like you're different.
Yeah, and it's nothing I know that can come off wrong to people. I
don't think it's
maybe not to you or maybe not to, but it could be taken wrong when really all we're saying is like, I'm just a person, man. But God made us all like, it's a passion I have in me, and it would be I would be lying to myself my whole life if I didn't run to that calling, and feeling like I'm so.
Right.
And plus, before my mom passed, like growing up, my mom always told me, was like, you're special, you're different.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to say all, nice things to your kids and
My mom told me the same
but
thing.
dog, when I would get in trouble, she
did.
would be on my ass. She would be in my face, like not physical, but like she would always be, I never forgot it, man. She would always be like, you're different. You have to act different. You cannot act like everybody else. If everybody else is doing stuff, you're different. You cannot be like everybody else. You have to be different. And I was like, okay.
I think that's important too, though. I mean, because people that are groundbreakers are all pretty different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, and it's not to take away from anybody else, but there's got to be people that go this way when everybody else is going this way.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, there's some people that just, they sit around and watch. They want to watch a show. I want to go make the show.
It's like
you
when
know?
I was a teenager,
Sorry.
I couldn't.
We have jobs.
Welcome
too.
back to your own podcast.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a day job too.
There you go. Yeah.
right.
This podcast actually don't pay.
Hey, no, here's the deal. Here's the funny thing. Sorry, I'm not trying.
You good?
We cut each other off all the time, but funny thing is my wife told me when I got home Friday night, she made a comment to me because you was picking about the 2-house deal. And somebody on TikTok commented and said, "This is what 4 rich guys look like sitting at the table together." It's like
4 rich guys. Yeah.
Stockville rich.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Freeways.
this dude had nothing in his pocket a few years ago, and then to have everything, it's like, and you don't even throw it in people's faces. Really, you're just celebrating, God's glory. Like, and I've had nothing, and when you get something, it's weird being so humble that you don't even know how to celebrate. I have so many wins all the time, and I never, like, I'm teaching myself now how to celebrate things because before it would feel like you're being an asshole, man.
Yeah.
Like, and truthfully, you're not. As long as your intent's right, it's cool. Plus, all that stuff's motivation, man. It really is. You let people know, like, you can get here too, man. No matter what.
You want to know what I'm saving for?
What you got? What you want to buy?
Tell them what I'm saving for.
G-Wagon.
G63 AMG.
Okay.
Saving.
I'm saving for it.
You got to earn it.
That's the big boy.
Well, here's
Yeah, that's a big boy.
And the thing
That
is
thing's fast too. That's the thing my homie told me. Luigi told me about.
yeah.
I don't know nothing about cars.
Yeah.
Them things are fast.
Well, this,
They look like they be some SUV ass. Like,
He told me, I asked him.
They will dog your ass.
They'll squat down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him in the truck one day. It's just me and him. I was like, "What's your dream vehicle? If you had a vehicle, like, what's your dream vehicle?" And he's like, "A G-Wagon." And I just straight up looked at him and I was like,
You want me to tell you something?
"Why don't you have a G-Wagon? You can go buy a G-Wagon right now."
Yep.
And he said, "Because if I just go buy it, then what's it gonna leave for me to desire and want? Like, and
I
work
love
for?"
that though. When you got enough money to go buy anything, because it is. It's like, what's the satisfaction
I can't
of
buy
that?
anything.
Not anything, but almost anything.
I
Like,
could buy a G-Wagon.
Yeah.
it's funny you talked about like your dream car because I just had this conversation and I want to talk about it because everybody thinks hip hop people just smoke blunts and say the word bitch and we don't
Wait a second.
We do that as well, but we also do. We are multi talented.
Do you have a 64?
Multifaceted.
And
Yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
Do you have a 64?
man, I ain't even got a Heinz 57, dog. Nope, I ain't got it.
I love it.
And that's funny though because I always told myself, growing after my dad passed, and my mom and money became tight, and it was like I didn't even fake dream about things and stuff. I was just like, when I get there, I didn't say I wasn't gonna get them. I was just like, dude, I'm wasting a bunch of time over here, like window shopping and shit. I need to get some money. So, but I always told myself when I get some money, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, it just changed, like the last few months, but it just changed. I said I'm gonna get a Impala, like a 64 or whatever, just an old school Impala. And up till about 3 weeks ago, that was my dream car. And now,
What is it now?
I want a bass boat, man. I'm trading it all in. I
you
bought a
can't
pedal
pull that.
kayak. I bought a pedal kayak. These fat
Bass
Sallies
boat.
better look out. You hear me? None of these fish can run from me. I'm getting on my hip hop shit right now.
I have a paddle boat out there.
I seen that, man, but it was too late.
And
It was
he didn't
too
know
late.
if it was going to
I'd
sink
already
or float.
Yeah, it looked kind of like.
There may or may not be a water box and up under it. When
Exactly.
You
That's
Yeah.
exactly why I didn't even play with it. I was just on the bank. I was Big Bang hanking it, killing fat Sallies. I caught
Big
him.
Bang Hank.
Yep. I bagged a whole bunch of fat Sallies, but it's crazy how things you want. Like my whole life, that's all I wanted. It was like, this is gonna be it. And now,
You better
Like-
not get in trouble.
like you change. Why? What happens? Oh, X.
Nah, y'all good. Go ahead.
No, you good. We'd rather sit here and watch you get in trouble. It's way more entertaining. The content would be way better.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Hey,
Because y'all's podcast.
Nah, I done had all that last week on the
Okay.
podcast
Ooh,
about the.
y'all had some marital problems on the podcast.
On the podcast.
Y'all brought that to the table.
I did, yeah.
I seen that.
He did. I wouldn't
I
have
seen
done it,
that.
but he
I seen.
did.
I watched a quarter of that mental health show.
A
Yeah,
corner.
that was good.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little too serious for me, but
Yeah, that probably. I mean, it's good to have that in there though.
I think
maybe
it's good
not
to
on
have
the podcast every once in a while, but it's good though to talk about
Nah,
it.
the wife is texting me right now because we got to meet the car lady to get her a new car, to swap cars or whatever. And so she's texting me when she's got the lady's number too, right? But she's texting me right now to just the girl's leaving from center because the vehicle come from right, and she's saying you might want to tell her to watch for deer because it's a new car. Like she don't want. Hey, check this out. So Carla's already mad that the girl we're buying the car from gets to drive the car before her.
I'll be mad too.
She's like, I want to drive my car
Why?
first.
Hold time out. Why didn't you take Carla over there?
So they delivering.
I don't know.
Cause I had a podcast.
What kind of car
to
she
shoot.
get?
One of those new Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee L's.
Is a Hellcat? Is that a Hellcat? No.
No, you really.
I don't know
Can't
nothing
give
about
my
cars.
mama-
You
Yeah.
no, you just gave it away. You really don't know anything about
Nah,
cars.
he don't. He don't.
No.
And I tell you
nothing.
what,
I
even too
love
before
cars.
before he moved to LA, he wasn't big on fashion. He wasn't big on sneakers and all that. Man, he got in there with Ski like a sneaker god.
Dude.
And now he started teaching me about sneakers, and it used to be the other way around, and now it's like now we've switched gears, like swap places, and he's all the sneakers and knows everything. I don't know nothing about it.
But I want everybody to know I'm willing to sell all of them right now for a bait caster rod and reel, a trolling motor, spinning spinner baits,
Up it.
plastic worms,
Up it.
Somebody's hooked. Yeah,
maybe
no
a-
pun intended.
maybe one of them
Skeeter.
a Skeeter bass boat.
Man, how you gonna pull it?
Yo, did somebody say something about a giveaway on this podcast? Weren't y'all giving away a Skeeter boat?
I said we have most skeeters in here.
Nah,
Most
I
Skeeters.
remember.
We have some
I swear it was during that coming to God moment. It was.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, are you going to rent a U-Haul truck to pull your bass boat? You don't even have a truck.
Man, I'm getting a mini bass boat that fits in the back of a U-Haul because it's smarter to just carry it in the back
You
of
get
a
a
U-Haul.
smart boat.
A smart boat. It's
smart
not a
boat.
smart
Boat.
car,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
a smart boat. Yeah,
It's all electric.
because
Yeah.
you get a trailer, then I have
Bluetooth.
to.
How
I have to
can
register.
you do that? How crazy and dangerous would that be? An electric boat in the water?
What you mean?
Do they got electric boats?
Y'all the car guys? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
trolling motors.
Trolling
run
motor's
a-
got a battery.
It does.
Yeah, so.
It's still
Okay,
battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
just lets you know I
my
don't know
thing
much.
would be is you get out there and you watching your battery gauge and it says 60%, and all of a sudden it says bloop bloop 40%, and then you ain't got enough battery to get back.
Yeah,
That's
I've
why I
been
bought
there.
a pedal kayak. Shout out my pedal kayak.
What's her name? Because you know we name all our trucks got names, so you got to name your kayak.
I ain't named it yet because I ain't.
That's why you ain't catching nothing.
I know, but I only took her out once so far. That's why. Let's
You know what?
No, what's some suggestions? Come
Fat
on,
Sally.
yo,
Fat Sally.
for all the listeners
Fat
on the
Sally.
podcast, Well, I already I named. I bought a John boat also, and that's named the SS Fat Sally.
Oh, SS Fast.
Fat
Yeah,
Sally.
just so
You
we
know
need.
what?
That's
so
why I'm
listeners-
having a little
So we
trouble.
need the listeners.
can
Listeners
name
need to leave-
my pedal kayak.
Yeah.
Listeners need to leave a comment and give Chehadé some.
Hashtag Chehadé,
Yep.
and then give the name.
Yep.
We need some good ones, like my ex, she bought a new car. Her sister bought a new car around the same time. They were trying to think of nicknames. One was white. It was a white Mercedes Benz. The other one was a Toyota Camry. I was like, ooh, maybe Paul Wall and Chameleonaire, Camry, Cam, Paul Wall and the color changing click. And they were.
Shout out to Paul Wall.
Ball wall.
My ex didn't take the name. Her sister did. Shout out Chameleonaire. Hope the car's doing good. Hope my ex isn't.
Damn.
All right,
That's,
man.
that's
so-
Yeah.
like a
Oh, wow. Exactly. Shout out
conglomerate.
Lieutenant Dan.
That's a
He got to be tired, man. That dude been sitting back there with that turret. You know how hard it is to lift a turret and shoot it when people make a diss?
I know.
You can't just hand him a Glock.
No.
And he's got to be ready
Yeah, man.
All the
all
time.
this time.
All the
Sit-
time. Sweating.
I think you turned my bass down.
No, what's up?
I think you turned my bass up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See how I did that right there?
Oh,
Fishing.
man. All right, man.
game.
Well, let's wrap this show up. Not to
Is
cut
that it?
nobody off. Yeah, but so
Now
tell
we got to
us-
have Chehadé back though for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
All I did was go to L.A.
For sure.
and
That's
work
it.
for DJ
We ain't
Ski.
even got
It's
up
a
to the
wrap.
T-Pain part.
Man, we
No.
didn't.
What I was finna say is
Shout I eat.
so tell us what you got going, man. What else in the-
Yeah.
You got to make
Do
sure
it.
on the video that you put some
La-da-da-doo.
reverb. You put some.
Oh yeah, we'll
Auto-tune on that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Put
I'll
some
get some
auto-tune on
auto-tune.
that. Yeah. What you
Snap your
working on?
fingers.
What you working on?
Man,
all you got going on right now?
I can't talk about it, but I can talk about it. So I got a video game coming in the next couple of years.
Okay.
Ooh, my
My son's gonna love that.
You're gonna be my son's hero too.
I can't even talk about it. It's not a mobile game. It is a console game, and that's all I can say.
Can you say what Well, it would be for both.
Nah, I got
Maybe
an
not.
NDA.
Can't
Yep,
do that.
yep.
Okay.
But that's on the
Okay.
lookout. We will talk when it comes out. I will definitely.
You need some voiceovers.
Can we drop it on this show?
When it comes out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
you need some country voiceovers. Just hit me up.
I got you, dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dabble in country a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, but
Maybe
I'm
by
okay.
Kind of dipping in it though.
A little bit,
We
yeah.
have been, you know,
Yep.
because trying to get these deals with Morgan Wallen for Bottomley and all that is going through.
Yep.
Maybe by
And
the
a
time
music
you
group.
come back, I'll have my own buttons.
Yep. I help run a booking agency too. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yep,
You
for tours.
produce T-Pain's podcast.
Produce T-Pain's podcast.
There you go, folks.
TV shows.
There's the T-Pain
I got.
plug.
Oh, that's right. What I have going on. I have 3 films that I'm working on right now.
yeah.
Can't really talk about them, but I'm co-producing.
I wish I could hear about
Hey man,
that.
if you need some acting done,
Everybody always says that. You know
Hit
that?
me up.
Every single person says that. I even told a dude yesterday, was like, what you gonna do? I was like, oh, I gotta shoot, and he was like, man, you ever need an actor, let me know. You
Did
know?
he say it just like
Definitely
that?
didn't say it in a country accent. We're in LA.
Everybody's an actor,
He was like,
yeah.
he's like, damn, blood, let me get some acting in, blood. And I was like,
Hey,
oh shit, okay.
I'm gonna tell you what.
But I told him it was I said it's a documentary, and he goes, I'll
Right.
still do acting, man. And I was like, yeah, you don't know how this shit works, dog. But it's cool.
If you need a redneck on there,
Yeah.
You the first redneck I'm calling.
first redneck.
Look, man, for all future guests, celebrities, YouTube stars, everybody, I got the biggest country accent now I'm with y'all.
Nobody.
But it's coming out. But they
Rub
will
it
fly
off.
you in here on a jet. He's buying a G-Wagon to pick you up, he said. There's fish here. They have fried fish. There's water, but it's flown in on the G5.
Yep.
On the
G6.
G6. There's no green room, but the house is really nice.
check that
And
fire out.
Ooh, that's a nice.
there is a fire in the house, and it is cold as hell outside. So this has been great, man.
And
I'm
we even
in
let
summary. This has been great.
We let the blinds down.
I know
so
you gotta
to keep the heat in
This is
here
the only house I've been with garage doors on it,
on the back porch.
and we're not even in the house. You said it's the back porch.
No, it's like one of those restaurants where you have the opener. Where it's
My
open to
boy's
the
house
outside.
has a,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Your porch is a restaurant. That's
Yeah.
good.
Anyways, thank you for coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Trucking with Troy.
Trucking with Troy. Y'all
Trucking with
follow
Troy.
him. I'm
We get-
Steve.
I'm Tim.
Tonight I was XO.
XO.
I'm Tim.
Trucking with Troy. I'm Troy.
That's Troy.
I'm Shehadé the
Shehadé.
King.
Shehadé the King.
We're getting the truck out of here. We'll holler at y'all later.
Yeah.